Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to this week's Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Leela. One second. Chapter 20, Murari Gupta Prabhava Varnana. Description of Murari Gupta's glories. Who is Murari Gupta? What is Murari Gupta's identity?
Hanumanji.
Yes, Hanuman. So, glory, glory to the fair lion who is the son of Sachi. Glory to the Lord whose feet remove all sufferings. Glory to the Lord who is life and master of Gadadhar. O Lord, please be merciful to me. Please allow my heart to stay always at your feet. Looking at the devotees and his heart filled with love, Lord Chaitanya danced, sang, wept, and laughed. Every day, accompanied by his devotees, Lord Chaitanya enjoyed many blissful pastimes. One day, accompanied by Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya went to Srivasa's home and enjoyed many pastimes there. At that time, Murari Gupta also came and offered Dandavat obeisances to Lord Chaitanya's feet. Then he offered obeisances to Lord Nityananda's feet. So first he offered obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he offered obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu. Then he stood before the two effulgent lords. Very pleased at heart with Murari Gupta, Lord Chaitanya honestly said to him, Murari, you did not act rightly. You offered obeisances in the wrong way. Must I teach you? Do you not know? Why do you jump over the rules of etiquette? Murari replied, Lord, what do I know? I simply follow my heart. Lord Chaitanya said, Good, good. For now you go home. Tomorrow I will explain everything to you. Feeling both joy and fear, Murari respectfully left. He returned home and went to sleep. In a dream, he saw Lord Nityananda, the best of the Vaishnavas, dressed as a wrestler, walking ahead of many others. He saw great serpents' hoods hovering over Lord Nityananda's head. He saw a plough and a club in Lord Nityananda's hands. He saw that Lord Nityananda's form was like Balaram. Behind Lord Nityananda walked Lord Chaitanya, a peacock feather in his hair. In the dream, Lord Chaitanya smiled and said, Murari, now you understand? I am younger. Please understand this in your heart. So what happened? So he saw that behind Lord Nityananda walked Lord Chaitanya. That's what he saw. Okay, that's the significance here. So Nityananda was dressed as Balaram. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a peacock feather. That means he's Krishna. So in front was Nityananda Prabhu and behind was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in the dream itself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and said to Murari, "Now you understand. I'm younger. Please understand this in your heart." Glancing at Murari, the two lords smiled. In this way, the two brothers taught Murari. Then they left. Waking up, Murari wept. Breathing heavily, he called out, "Nityananda," again and again. Worried, Murari's saintly wife began chanting, "Krishna, Krishna, Krishna." Understanding Nityananda is the elder brother, Murari happily went to Lord Chaitanya's home. Lotus-eyed Lord Chaitanya was seated, and Lord Nityananda, his face filled with happiness, was at his right. First, Murari bowed down before Lord Nityananda's feet. Then he bowed down before Lord Chaitanya's feet. Smiling, Lord Chaitanya said, "Murari, why did you do that?" Murari replied, "Lord, I only follow." As a dry straw moves in the wind, so all living beings are subject to your supreme power. Lord Chaitanya said, "Murari, you are dear to me. That is why I have opened my heart to you." In this way, Lord Chaitanya revealed the truth about himself to Murari Gupta. On the Lord's left was the dear devotee Gadadhar, who held betel nuts in his hands. Lord Chaitanya said, "Murari is the first of my servants." Speaking these words, the Lord took some betel nuts he had chewed and gave them to Murari. Murari respectfully took them in his hands. Chewing them, Murari became wild with bliss. Lord Chaitanya said, "Murari, wash your hands." Murari wiped his hands on his head. Lord Chaitanya said, "Now you have become a low caste wretch. You placed my remnants on your body." Lord Chaitanya uh, said, "Now you become a low caste wretch. You placed my remnants on your body." Now Lord Chaitanya entered the mood of being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gnashing his teeth, he said, "In Varanasi lives a sannyasi named Prakashananda. Again and again, this wretch cuts me into pieces. In his mind, he thinks it is good to cut me apart. He teaches Vedanta, but he does not give importance to my form. I have placed leprosy in his body, but still he does not understand. The numberless universes all reside in my body. Still, this wretch says my body is only an illusion. How can I tolerate this? Murari, you are my servant. What I tell you is the truth. Anyone who does not respect my body will perish. Brahma, Shiva, and Anantasesh serve my body, thinking it as dear as their own lives. All the demigods worship my body. Simply by touching my body, one becomes the purest of the pure. Still, this wretch says that my body is an illusion. How can I tolerate this? This form I now show to you is eternal. It is eternal. I am eternal. My servants are eternal. We are eternal. My pastimes are eternal. My abode is eternal. Anyone who says they are illusions, cut me into pieces. Simply by hearing my glories, one destroys the beginningless ignorance of this world. Still, the sinners teach the Lord's pastimes are illusions. By tasting the nectar of hearing my glories, Lord Shiva becomes so intoxicated that he is clothed only by the four directions. Anantasesh, who holds up all the worlds, always chants my glories. Sukadev, Narada, and all the sages become intoxicated by hearing my glories. The four Vedas describe the greatness of my glories. O Murari Gupta, anyone who does not honor my sacred glories will not understand my descent to this world. In this way, Lord Chaitanya taught Murari Gupta. He said, my form, my servants, pastimes, and abodes are all eternal. In this way, Lord Chaitanya taught the truth about himself. Anyone who does not agree with these conclusions will perish. The next moment, Lord Chaitanya returned to external consciousness. Again, he was the most humble of penniless Brahmanas. Calling him brother, Lord Chaitanya embraced Murari Gupta. Showing great affection for him, Lord Chaitanya kindly said, Murari, I tell you the truth. You are my pure servant. You know the truth about Nityananda. Even if he claims to be my devotee, anyone who has even a single sesame seed's worth of hatred for Lord Nityananda is not dear to me. Now please go home, Murari Gupta. You have purchased me. You know the secret of Nityananda. In this way, Lord Chaitanya made Murari Gupta the object of his mercy. Only Hanuman received mercy like Murari. Murari Gupta joyfully returned home. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda stayed in his heart. Agitated at heart, Murari returned home. He said one thing, did another, and then happily laughed. With great joy, he said, I will eat. His devoted wife brought his meal. Agitated by tasting the nectar of love for Lord Chaitanya, Murari called out, eat, eat, and scattered handfuls of food everywhere. Mixing rice and ghee, he poured the combination on the floor. Krishna, eat, 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 he said again and again. Watching Murari Gupta's actions, his devoted wife smiled. Again and again she brought him food, and again he poured on the floor. The devoted wife knew Murari Gupta is a great devotee of the Lord. Chanting Krishna, she reminded her husband of Lord Krishna. In this way, Murari Gupta offered food to Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna accepted it. Lord Krishna never rejected Murari's request. Murari offered food in this way and Lord Krishna ate it. Ashnami. Lord Krishna ate it. The next morning, Lord Chaitanya rose early and went to visit Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta sat, wrapped in the bliss of chanting Lord Krishna's name. At that time, Lord Chaitanya entered. Seeing him, Murari Gupta at once offered obeisances. With great respect, Murari Gupta offered the Lord a place to sit. Lord Chaitanya, the son of Jagannath Mishra, sat down. Murari Gupta said, Lord, why have you come? Lord Chaitanya replied, I have come for a medicine. Murari Gupta said, can you say what is the cause of your indigestion? What did you eat yesterday? Lord Chaitanya said, rascal, how did you know what was my disease? Calling out, eat, eat, you threw the food on the floor. You have forgotten, but your wife knows everything. When you offer, how can I not eat? Now you have to give me medicine. Your food is the cause of my indigestion. Drinking water cures indigestion. Your food caused my indigestion. Your food caused my indigestion. Therefore, your water will be the medicine to cure it. After speaking these words, Lord Chaitanya picked up Murari's cup of water, water filled with the nectar of pure devotion, and drank it. Seeing the Lord's mercy, Murari fell unconscious. Murari's family wept in great love. The Lord, his servants, and their devotional service are like this. Lord Chaitanya's mercy manifested all the features of pure devotion. Murari Gupta's servants attained Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Mercy, the great Bhattacharyas in Nadia never saw. Material learning, wealth, and fame do not bring anything of value. It's the mercy of the Vaishnavas that brings the very valuable result of engagement in devotional service. Why should one not become a servant or maid servant to the Vaishnavas? The Vedas declare the servants and maid servants of the Vaishnavas are the greatest of all. Every day Lord Chaitanya gave his mercy to Murari Gupta. Please hear the wonderful story of Murari Gupta. One who hears about Murari Gupta attains the great treasure of devotional service. One day at Srivasa's home, Lord Chaitanya, roaring, manifested his own form. In his form, in his four hands, he held a conch shell, chakra, club, and lotus. He called out, Garuda, Garuda. At that moment, making a great sound, Murari entered Srivasa's home. The mood of Garuda entered Murari Gupta's body. Murari Gupta said, I am he. I am the great soul Garuda. Lord Chaitanya called out, Garuda, Garuda. Murari Gupta replied, I am he. I am your servant. Lord Chaitanya said, Son, you are my carrier. I am. Murari Gupta replied. Murari Gupta said, You have forgotten. I carried you and the Parijata tree from Swargaloka. You have forgotten. I carried you to Vanapura. I cut Kartikeya's peacock into pieces. Lord, please climb on my shoulders. Give the order. To which universe shall I carry you? The Lord Chaitanya, the son of Jagannath Mishra, climbed on Murari Gupta's shoulders. There was a great sound of Jai Jai in Srivasa's home. Carrying goddess Lakshmi's husband on his shoulders, Murari Gupta ran everywhere in the courtyard. The women made auspicious sounds. With great love, all the devotees wept. One person said, Jai, Jai. Another said, Hari. Another said, Never will I forget seeing this. Some joyfully slapped their arms and thighs. Some said, How glorious is the Lord. Some smiled and laughed. Someone raised his arms and loudly called, Glory, glory to Vishwambar, who is carried by Murari Gupta. Lord Chaitanya rocked to and fro on Murari's shoulders. Then Murari joyfully ran into the house. The impious did not see the pastimes Lord Chaitanya manifested in Navadvip. Wealth, family, and fame will not help one attain Lord Krishna. Lord Chaitanya is conquered only by devotional service. The Lord's servants and maidservants who birth after birth had worshipped the Lord happily gazed at all these pastimes. So who is seeing these pastimes? The servants and maidservants of the devotees. The Lord's servants and maidservants who birth after birth had worshipped the Lord happily gazed at all these pastimes. They who saw these pastimes kindly described them to others. Still, the impious would not believe them. In this Madhya Khanda is described the pastime of Lord Chaitanya's climbing on Murari Gupta's shoulders. Every time the Lord descends to this world, Murari Gupta is the first of his servants. These pastimes have no end. The Vedas say sometimes they are visible, Avirbhav, and sometimes they are hidden, Tirobhav, returning to external consciousness, and now very peaceful. Lord Chaitanya climbed down from Murari's shoulders. Murari Gupta's acceptance of Garuda's mood came to a stop. Ordinary people do not understand these confidential pastimes where Lord Chaitanya climbs on Murari Gupta's shoulders. Seeing the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, seeing the mercy Lord Chaitanya gave Murari Gupta, the circle of Vaishnavas praised Murari, saying, Glorious, glorious, glorious. Murari Gupta was a very glorious and fortunate devotee. His devotional service to Lord Vishnu had borne a very great fruit, for he had the power to carry Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes. There are many other sacred stories of Murari Gupta, and they will be described in due course. One day, pure hearted Murari Gupta thought in his heart about the Lord's incarnations. He thought, I understand that bringing his limbs and sublimbs, the Lord descends to this world to fulfill his mission. But I do not understand Lord Krishna's pastimes. Why does he act as he does? Sometimes he creates and sometimes he destroys. Why After rescuing Sita and killing Ravana and Ravana's kinsmen, did the Lord abandon Sita at the end? He peacefully watched as the Yadavas, who were dear to him as his own life, lost their lives. Therefore, I will give up this body now, while the Lord himself is personally present in this world. Now is the time, while the Lord himself is on this earth, for me to end this body. In his heart, renouncing the world, Murari got a very sharp knife meant for sawing conch shells. Keeping that knife in his house, he thought, with joy in my heart, tonight I will end this body. Lord Chaitanya, who is the super soul in the hearts of all living beings, knew the thoughts in Murari's heart. The Lord quickly went to Murari's house. Murari Gupta respectfully bowed down before the Lord's feet. Feeling very merciful to Murari Gupta, Lord Chaitanya sat down and spoke about Lord Krishna. Lord Chaitanya said, Murari Gupta, you must follow my order. Murari Gupta said, Lord, my body is your property. Lord Chaitanya said, is that the truth? Murari Gupta said, it is. Lord Chaitanya whispered in Murari's ear, give me the knife. Bring the knife you will use to leave your body. Give it to me. It is in this house. Hi, Murari Gupta said, unhappy at heart. Murari said, someone has told you this lie. Who is it? Lord Chaitanya said, Murari, I see that you are not very intelligent. You say that someone else told me about this and that how I know of it. I made that knife and I gave it to you. That is how I know. I know where you hid the knife. Lord Chaitanya, the super soul in the hearts of all, knows everything. He went, found the knife, and returned with it. Lord Chaitanya said, Murari Gupta, this is the way you act. What is my fault that you want to leave me and go away? If you go, then who will help me in my pastimes? Where did you get this idea? Murari, please give me this gift. Never think like this again. Lord Chaitanya embraced Murari and then placed his hand on Murari's head. Lord Chaitanya said, you will eat my head. You will eat my head if you want to leave me again. Murari at once fell to the ground. With tears of love, he washed the Lord's feet. Grasping the Lord's feet, saintly Murari wept. Embracing Murari, Lord Chaitanya wept. Lakshmi, Brahma, Anantasesh, and Shiva yearned to attain the mercy that Lord Chaitanya gave to Murari Gupta. The demigods are not different from Lord Chaitanya. The demigods are not different from Lord Krishna. This the Vedas declare. Assuming the form of Anantasesh, Lord Chaitanya holds up the worlds. Assuming the form of Brahma, Lord Chaitanya creates the world. Assuming the form of Shiva, Lord Chaitanya destroys the world. With his own mouth, he speaks prayers, glorifying himself. The demigods are not different from the Lord. They are not different. They all serve Lord Chaitanya's feet. If even a bird chants Lord Chaitanya's name, that soul will go to Lord Chaitanya's abode. That is the truth. If a sannyasi does not chant Lord Chaitanya's name, that soul will life after life be born blind among wicked beings. He is a thief in the clothing of sannyasi. He is a blasphemer sannyasi, a sinner. Who? One who does not chant Lord Chaitanya's names. A blasphemer sannyasi is not different from a thief. Both are great blasphemers. The Vedas call such a person an enemy of others. This enemy is described in these words of the Brihanaradiya Purana. Prakatam patitah shreyan ya eko yatyadah swayam bakavrittihi swayam papah patayatyaparanapi. One kind of sinner falls himself down into hell. Another kind, a hypocrite who deceives others, makes other souls fall into hell. So one person, he makes himself fall down. The other person makes others fall. Haranti dasya vokutyam vimohyastrairnrinam dhanam charitrairati tikshnagrair vadairevam bhakavrataha. As thieves threaten others with weapons in a secluded place and rob them of their wealth, so with very sharp words, false preachers rob others. I'll read that again. As thieves threaten others with weapons in a secluded place and rob them of their wealth, so with sharp words, false preachers rob others. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 3, Text 38, it is said, Shudraha pratrigrahishyanti tapo veshopajivinah dharmam vakshyantya dharmagya adhiruhyottamasanam. To earn their livelihood, Shudras will dress as sannyasis and accept alms. Persons who know only sins will sit on a high seat and teach religion. Thinking an impostor is a true sannyasi, thinking an impostor to be a true sannyasi, the people hear from him blasphemy of Vaishnavas. In this way, the people perish. So this is what it means. Thieves, they rob others in a secluded place by showing knife, showing weapons. So these blasphemers, they rob people of all their piety, right? How? By speaking blasphemy against Vaishnavas. By hearing that, people perish. If one hears blasphemy of saintly persons, his piety will be destroyed. Birth after birth, he will be fallen. This the Vedas say. Mind you, this is not about speaking, it's about hearing also. Somebody is blaspheming a Vaishnava, and when I hear that blasphemy, then birth after birth, I will be in a fallen condition for hearing the blasphemy of a Vaishnava. A thief suffers in only one birth, but a blasphemer suffers birth after birth and moment after moment. Therefore, a blasphemer sannyasi is a thief. What is he stealing? He's stealing the piety of people. He is countless times more sinful than a thief. From Brahma down to the unmoving plants, every living being is Lord Krishna's potency. Therefore, all the scriptures say anyone who blasphemes another, right? Any other living entity. Anyone who blasphemes another angers Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna delivers any person who is not a blasphemer and who once chants Krishna. That is the truth. It is the truth. If a person studies the four Vedas and then blasphemes others, he will fall into the hell called Kumbhipaka. There he will suffer birth after birth. A person who studies Srimad Bhagavatam and then his intelligence wrecked blasphemes Lord Nityananda will be completely destroyed. The blasphemers have no faith in the eternal pastimes Lord Chaitanya manifested in Navadvip. They whose thoughts and deeds are placed at Lord Chaitanya's feet stay with Lord Chaitanya birth after birth. Never will I look at yogis who have 8 mystic perfections. Never will I look at yogis who have 8 mystic perfections, but no devotion to Lord Chaitanya. Such persons are impious sinners. They are great yogis. They have all Ashtasiddhis, but they don't have devotion to Lord Chaitanya. I won't even look at them. Such persons are impious sinners. Who is saying this? Vrindavan Das Thakur. After comforting Murari Gupta, Lord Chaitanya happily returned to his home. These are the glories of Murari Gupta. How can I truly describe all his glories? From Lord Chaitanya's mouth, I have heard a little of the Vaishnava's glories. May Lord Nityananda be my master birth after birth. By his mercy, I am attracted to Lord Chaitanya. O Lord Chaitanya, O son of Jagannath Mishra, glory, glory to you. I pray that your Nityananda will be the great treasure of my life. In my heart, I always hold Lord Chaitanya, who is the very life of He Lord Nityananda, who is the master of my life. The two moons, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Achintadev Prabhu, you're raising your hand?
Yes, Mataji, couple of questions if I can ask.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So one is, how do we define blasphemy? Because that's a very strong statement that is mentioned there, right?
Actually, I think it's given in Skanda Purana. It's been a while that I discussed this topic. I may not recollect all 6. I can actually see in the book. But there are, blasphemy includes 6. So let me just look if I can find it. So I'll tell you exactly what it means. Becoming angry with someone, that's also blaspheming. Criticizing someone, that is also blaspheming. There are 6 types.
So we'll never be able to proceed any step.
Right. Yes. Yeah. If I don't find it, I'll just tell you from memory, but I'm trying to find it first. Most probably. It was in Nectar of Devotion class, I remember. I'm not able to find the notes.
Mother, you can answer later also.
Oh, I'll see if I can find it, Prabhuji, because this is important. Yeah. I'll just tell you. Yeah, if I'll tell you later when I find it. But meanwhile, so some of the things of those 6 are to envy, right? To consider a Vaishnava to be your enemy or to envy, that's one form of blasphemy. To actually be angry at a Vaishnava, right, and yell at him, that is one form of blasphemy. And of course, to criticize, that is one form of blasphemy. And to kill a Vaishnava, that is also one form of blasphemy. There's 2 more. So I'll send it in the group. I can type and send it when I find it. And the reference is from Skanda Purana.
So Mataji, is it a reference only to Vaishnavas, because it is mentioned anybody, right?
Yeah, because it is said Vaishnava, then who is a Vaishnava? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only said last Chaitanya Bhagavat reading we saw. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, all the countless living entities, they are all my parts and parcels. They're all potential Vaishnavas. They may not be Vaishnavas today, but eventually, everyone is a potential Vaishnava. They can become Vaishnava. It's just a matter of them coming in the association of a devotee and taking to devotional service. So there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, all the countless living entities, you should not blaspheme anyone. Of course, there are other dharmas, you see, like it is also said in the scripture, if somebody is attacking you, then you have to defend yourself. You cannot say, or if somebody is coming to violate the chastity of a woman, right, and you're standing there and you just say that, oh, that's a Vaishnava, I should not blaspheme. Not like that. So even more, if you want to hear even more in detail, this came in today's Srimad Bhagavatam class, actually. The last 3 verses of chapter 18, Canto 1, chapter 18, the last 3 verses, we hear. So personally, when anyone attacks me personally, then the Vaishnava will not take any action. He will just accept it. He will not fight for it. But if someone else is being attacked, then he will fight, especially if they're blaspheming the Lord or a devotee of the Lord, a Vaishnava will fight. But on his personal account, if somebody is attacking or he's criticizing or so many other things. They do even up to the point of kills him also. He will not retaliate, it is said about a Vaishnava. Yeah. So all these qualities actually will manifest as we advance in Krishna consciousness, they will come. But it's good to know and, and aspire for these qualities. These qualities will come only when the Lord, gives his mercy. It's not something that can be practiced and we will get it. But certainly we can aspire and we can pray to the Lord and qualities will come. But criticism, yeah, we have to be very careful. Yeah, one more thing is not greeting the Vaishnavas. That's also one offense. Like when you see a Vaishnava and you don't greet that Vaishnava. That's also a blasphemy. But I will give you the exact list. I'll go over and I'll send it to you.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.